Good morning, dear children. Welcome back. In today's session, we are going to discuss Class 7, Term 3 in Social Science, History, Unit 1, New Religious Ideas and Movements. This is Part 4 of the video series. Come, children, let us learn. Dears, before going into today's session, let us have a recap of what we learned in the last ones. In the previous sessions, we discussed about the beginnings of Bhakti movement. Medieval India saw an extraordinary production of devotional poetry which were not restricted to one particular religion but inspired by different religious movements. The exponents of these movements held the view that the total devotion or bhakti to God could save the man from the pitfalls of life and earn him salvation. The Bhakti movement or the resurgence of devotional practices started in Tamil Nadu around 7th century AD. It included the reciting the name of the god or goddesses, singing hymns in his praise, wearing religious marks, carrying identity emblems, and undertaking pilgrimages to sacred places associated with the deity. We also learned about the devotional movements in Tamilagam, that is about the Alvars and the Nayanmars. The Alvars are the Vaishnavite Bhakti sages and the originators of Bhakti cult, and the Nayanmars, the worshippers of Shiva or the Saivites, composed devotional hymns in Tamil language dedicated to their respective gods. Shiva Bhakti is associated with Shiva's manifestations on earth. Poems to Shiva and Vishnu, particularly to Krishna, were composed in Tamil and other South Indian languages such as Kannada and Telugu. These poet saints criticized caste-based social status and advocated gender equality in order to make it good to stand the onslaught of Buddhism or Jainism. Vishnu Bhakti or Vaishnavism is based on Vishnu's avatars or incarnations, particularly Krishna and Rama. The 12 Tamil Alvars are chiefly known for their immortal hymns. Two Alvars stand out distinctly for their contribution to the promotion of the Bhakti movement. Nammalvar's fame lies in the 1102 stanza Thiruvaimozhi, and Nada Muni collected the 4000 poems of Nammalvar in the form of Divya Prabandham. Andal was the only female Alvar. Periya Alvar made lots of songs on Krishna, putting himself in the place of Mother Yashoda. Periya Alvar is said to have found Andal as a baby in the Tulsi garden at Srivalliputhur temple and adopted her. The Tirupavai or the path to Krishna and Nachiyar Tirumuri, the sacred songs of the lady, are Andal's celebrated works. We also learned about Adi Shankara, who preached the Advaita philosophy. The essence of this philosophy is that the soul or the Atma unites with the universal soul or Brahma through the attainment of knowledge. He set up madhas or muds, centers of learning and worship at Badrinath, Puri, Dwaraka and Sringeri. His masterpiece is the commentary on the Brahma Sutra, which is the fundamental text of the Vedanta school. Ramanuja was a 11th century Vaishnava saint and was the most influential thinker of Vaishnavism. His philosophy, Vishishta Advaita, proclaims that the soul retains its identity even after uniting with Brahma. We also learned about the Bhakti movements in North India. In North India, one group accepted what was best in Islam and the other adopted a few elements in order to prevent conversion to Islam. Both the groups reacted to Islam, one in a sympathetic way while the other was hostile. Kabir and Guru Nanak and other founders of the new sects are included in the first group, while the movements in Bengal associated with the Chaitanya Deva or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belongs to the later tendency. We also learned about the exponents of Bhakti movement in North India. It was Ramananda who spread the Bhakti ideology in northern India, where it became a mass movement. Vallabhacharya, a Telugu philosopher, built a temple for Lord Krishna on the Govardhan hills near Madura. Surdas, a blind poet and a musician, was associated with this temple as well as that of Agra. His famous collection of poetry is called Sursagar. Mirabai, wife of Crown Prince of Mewar, was an ardent devotee of Lord Krishna. She was also a disciple of Ravidas. Mirabai gained popularity through her bhajans. Chaitanya Deva popularized Krishna worship through aesthetic songs and dancing that had profound effect on Vaishnavism in Bengal. Tulsidas' Hindi retelling of the story of Rama in Ramacharita, the sentiment of friendship and loyalty was stressed. The Sufism in India. The advent of Sufis to India dates back to the Arab conquest of Sindh. It gained prominence in the 10th and 11th centuries during the reign of Delhi Sultans. Sufism adopted many native Indian concepts such as yogic postures, music, and dance. Sufis in medieval India were divided into three major orders. They were Chisti, Suhrwadi, and Firdausi. Dear children, in this session we will discuss about the great poet Kabir and Guru Nanak. Dear children, as a Muslim, Kabir was born a Muslim, but he was under the influence of a saint, Ramananda, who was based from Varanasi. As a Muslim, Kabir came under the influence of Varanasi-based saint Ramananda. He accepted some Hindu ideas and tried to reconcile Hinduism and Islam. He wanted to have a bonding between Hinduism and Islam, so he tried to accept some Hindu ideas. However, it was the Hindus and particularly those of the lower classes to whom his message appealed. Kabir was able to influence the Hindus of the lower class because only they accepted their message. Kabir believed that God is one and formless. That is, he believed that there is only one God and there is no particular form for God. There is no particular image for God. Even though different religious sects give him different names and forms, he believed that the God is one and only and there is no particular form for God, and different people or different religious followers call him with different names. Even though he is single one, the God is called by different names by different religious peoples. He opposed discrimination on the basis of religion, caste, and wealth. So he was against discrimination, showing partiality towards a particular religion or a caste or even wealth. He also condemned meaningless rituals. He was against rituals which were just for the namesake. He did not advocate for that. He believed that it is not the rituals but the actions of man that counted. Kabir's verses were composed in Bhojpuri language mixed with Urdu. He wrote verses in Bhojpuri language and it was mixed with Urdu language. Urdu language is a language used to write the poems, especially poems based on Muslim religion. Kabir's Grandhavali, Granthavali, Grandhavali, and Bijak, Bijak, Bijak contain collections of Kabir's verses. So two books are there. They are Grandhavali and Bijak, which contain Kabir's verses. Kabir believed that there is only one God and people of different religion call him by different names. And he did not appeal for the discrimination on the basis of religion, caste or wealth, and he was against the rituals which were meaningless. Now we will learn about Guru Nanak. The early life of Guru Nanak was very poor. Guru Nanak born in a village near Lahore in 1469. He was born in a village in Lahore, which is in Pakistan. He showed very good interest in religious discussion with other saints right from his early childhood. He was very much into the religious discussion from his very early age. His parents were keen to involve him in worldly life. His parents wanted him to get married, but Guru Nanak was inclined towards spiritualism. He was attracted towards spirituality. He visited many holy places and finally settled in Kartarpur, 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 near Lahore. He visited many places and at last he got settled down in Kartarpur near Lahore. He died there in 1539. In the year 1539, Guru Nanak passed away in Kartarpur. To mark the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak, a corridor is being constructed by the Indian government that will link the Nanak shrine in Gurdaspur with the Gurudwara Darbar Sahib at Kartarpur in Pakistan. So, to celebrate the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak, the India government is constructing a corridor connecting Nanak shrine in Gurdaspur with the Gurudwara Darbar Sahib at Kartarpur in Pakistan. So, there is a corridor being constructed to mark his 550th anniversary. In the picture, you can find Guru Nanak and Gurudwara Granth Sahib at Kartarpur, Pakistan. Children, now we will learn about Guru Nanak's teachings. Guru Nanak preached that God is without form and wanted his followers to practice meditation upon the name of God for peace and ultimate salvation. He said that God is without any form. God doesn't take any form. And his followers, he wanted them to practice meditation on the name of God. And the meditation was for peace and for ultimate salvation. To get ultimate salvation, that is oneness with a God, one has to undergo salvation. So they, in order to get the salvation, they are supposed to meditate the name of God. He is considered the first Guru by the Sikhs. Guru Nanak is the first Guru of the Sikh. Guru Nanak had great contempt for Vedic rituals and caste discrimination. He was not very much interested in the Vedic rituals. The rituals were said in the Vedas and the discrimination on the basis of caste. The teachings of Guru Nanak formed the basis of Sikhism, a new religious order founded in the late 15th century. So, the preachings and teachings of Guru Nanak was the basis of a new religious order, namely Sikhism, and the Sikh religion was founded in the late 15th century. Guru Nanak and his successors' teachings are collected in the Guru Granth Sahib, which is the holy book of Sikhs. Which is the holy books of Sikhs? It is Guru Granth Sahib. G-U-R-U, Guru, G-R-A-N-T-H, Granth Sahib, S-A-H-I-B, Sahib. What does it contain? The teachings of Guru Nanak and his successors. It is collected in the form of a book which is considered as a holy book of the Sikhs. What is the name of that book? It is Guru Granth Sahib. Guru Nanak's teachings were spread through the group singing of hymns called Kirtan. So whatever his teachings were there, it was spread in the form of singing of hymns, and it was called as Kirtans. They were singing the songs in the form of Kirtans. The devotees gathered in Dharmasthala or rest houses, D-H-A-R-M-A-S-H-A-L-A-S, Dharmashalas, which are rest houses, which became Gurudwaras in course of time. So the Dharmashalas or the rest houses which were used by the devotees for gatherings became the Gurudwaras, the place of worships of Sikhs. Gurudwara, G-U-R-U-D-W-A-R-A-S, Gurudwaras. Dear children, Guru Nanak nominated his disciple Lehna, L-E-H-N-A, Lehna, to succeed him as a Guru. he succeeded. He nominated the disciple, his follower Lehna, to succeed him as the guru. Following this president, his advice, the successors were named by the incumbent Sikh guru. Incumbent, INCUMBENT. Incumbent means who is in the current position. Following the president of Guru Nanak to nominate his disciple, the successors are named by the incumbent Sikh Guru who is in current position. That person will name the successor. At the time of Guru Gobind Singh, the custom of Pahul, that is baptism by sweetened water stirred with a dagger, was introduced. It was during the reign of the custom of Guru Gobind Singh that they adopted a baptism by sweetened water which is stirred with a dagger. It is called as Pahul, P-A-H-U-L, Pahul. Those who got baptized became members of a disciplined brotherhood known as the Khalsa, or meaning the pure. So those who were baptized like that with sweetened water stirred with a dagger became members of the Khalsa, K-H-A-L-S-A, Khalsa. The men were given the title Singh or Lion. Those people, the gentlemen, were named as Singh or Lion. The 5 distinctive things of the Khalsa members are given there. It is a Kirpan, K-I-R-P-A-N, Kirpan, Kachira, K-A-C-H-E-R-A, Kachira, Kara, K-A-R-A, Kara, Kesh, K-E-S-H, Kesh, and Kanga, K-A-N-G-H-A, Kanga. Dear children, every member of the Khalsa had to have 5 distinctive things on his person. So there were 5 things, as I told you earlier about those. These were the kesh or the uncut hair. Kesh is uncut hair. Kanga, K-A-N-G-H-A, Kanga is a comb. Kirpan, K-I-R-P-A-N, Kirpan is a dagger which is used. Then Kada, which is a steel bangle, and Kachira, which is the underpants. So every member of Khalsa will have all these 5 things. After Guru Gobind Singh, the holy book of Guru Granth Sahib is considered the Guru, and its message is spread by the Khalsa. So till Guru Gobind Singh there were successors, and after him the book Guru Granth Sahib is considered as the Guru, and its message is spread by the Sikh people. Now children, it is time for us to learn about the impact of religious or Bhakti movement. Dear children, Vedic Hinduism was regenerated and thus saved from the onslaught of Islam. The Vedic tradition was regenerated. There were some traditions were changed and they were saved from the Muslim impact. The Islamic tenets, the unity of God and universal brotherhood emphasized by the saints, promoted harmony and peace. The main principle of Islam, that is the unity of God and the brotherhood, universal brotherhood, emphasized by these saints of the Bhakti movement, had created the harmony and peace in our place. Bhakti was a movement of the common people because it was used, the advocates of Bhakti language used Tamil or the regional language to sing the hymns. It was for the common people. It used the language of the common people for their devotional literature. Earlier the religious literature was very tough. It was Sanskrit, and it had a change when during the Bhakti movement time, because the regional language, people who could understand the local language, that was introduced. Bhakti movement opened up space for Indian languages to grow. So not only that, Indian languages also flourished. Indian languages like the Telugus, Kannada are all flourishing during the Bhakti movement. It stimulated literary activity in the regional languages. So literary activities were done in the regional languages. What sustained Sanskrit despite its decline during this period was the support extended by the rulers of Hindu kingdoms. But Sanskrit also sustained because of the support that were extended by the rulers of the Hindu kingdoms. Tamil was the only ancient Indian language remained vibrant during this period because of the support from the Hindu rulers, Sanskrit survived. But Tamil had a royal status, had a vibrant period during that time. But the ethos of Tamil literature in the medieval time had changed. Ethos means the characters that are used. In classical period, it had secular literature depicting the everyday life, its joys and sorrows. But under the influence of devotional cults, it shifted to religion and religious literature. Earlier, it was based on the everyday life, its joys and sorrows. But under the influence of this Bhakti movement or the devotional cults, the emphasis shifted to religion and religious literature. Caste system and social disparities came to be criticized. So, the caste system or the untouchability and the social disparities, social discrimination based on religion and caste were criticized during that time. Now let us see the summary of the lesson. The Bhakti movement is explained. Alvar's initiatives followed by Nayanmars in Tamil country are described. Adi Shankara's Advaita philosophy and Ramanujar's Vishishtadvaita philosophy are explained. The devotional path of saints, notably Tulsidas, Mirabai in northern India and Chaitanya Deva in Bengal, are examined. Mutual influence of Islam and Hinduism and birth of Sufism, Sikhism and mystical Hinduism are discussed in brief. Radical versions of Bhakti movement also discussed. Contribution of Kabir and Guru Nanak are detailed. The essential features of Bhakti movement are highlighted. The impact of Bhakti movement on the medieval Indian society is analyzed. Now let us see the glossary. Salvation, S-A-L-V-A-T-I-O-N. Salvation is a way of being saved from danger, loss or harm. Omnipresent, O-M-N-I-P-R-E-S-E-N-T. Omnipresent is present everywhere at the same time. Incarnation, I-N-C-A-R-N-A-T-I-O-N. Incarnation is a living being embodying a deity or spirit. Hostile, H-O-S-T-I-L-E. Hostile is showing enmity or dislike or unfriendly. Prominence, P-R-O-M-I-N-E-N-C-E. Prominence or importance. Adherent, A-D-H-E-R-E-N-T. Adherent is supporter of a person, cause or belief. Stringent, S-T-R-I-N-G-E-N-T. Stringent is severe or harsh. Ulema, U-L-E-M-A. Ulema is Islamic scholar trained in Islamic law. Hermitage, H-E-R-M-I-T-A-G-E. Hermitage is a dwelling of a person living in seclusion. Akin, A-K-I-N. Akin is similar. Dagger, D-A-G-G-E-R. Dagger is a short pointed knife that is sharp on both sides. Depicting, D-E-P-I-C-T-I-N-G. Depicting is showing or portraying. Disparity, D-I-S-P-A-R-I-T-Y. Disparity is a great difference, the state of being unequal. It is time to wind up today's session, children. Before winding up, let us have a recap of what we learned. Dear children, in this session we discussed about Kabir and Guru Nanak. Kabir believed that God is one and formless, even though different religious sects gave him different names and forms. He opposed discrimination on the basis of religion, caste and wealth. Kabir's Grandhavali and Bijak contain collection of Kabir's verses. Guru Nanak preached that God is without form and wanted his followers to practice meditation upon the name of God for peace and ultimate salvation. He is the first Guru. Guru Nanak's teachings form the basis of Sikhism, a new religious order in the late 15th century. At the time of Guru Gobind Singh, the custom of Pahul or baptism by sweetened water stirred with dagger was introduced, and those members who baptized became members of a disciplined brotherhood known as the Khalsa, meaning pure. The men were given the title Singh. The Kirpan, the Kachira, Kara, Kesh and the Kanga are the 5 distinct things of the Khalsa members. We also learned about the impact of religious and bhakti movements. The Vedic Hinduism was regenerated. The Islamic tenets, unity of God and universal brotherhood, promoted harmony and peace. Bhakti movement opened up space for Indian languages to grow. In the next session, we will discuss the evaluation, that is the book back answers. With that, we wind up today's session, my dear children. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Samachir Kalvi Guide. Thank you. Stay blessed.